Hello, welcome to the channel. This video is talking about modal verbs. Let's get started. Today we're gonna talk about using modal verbs for necessity, prohibitions, and obligations. Let's get started. Necessities and obligations. Use the word must, have to, and need to plus a bad infinitive. And also some verbs that have a stronger obligation and less strong obligations. And besides, prohibitions, using must not, cannot, and some other modal verbs like don't have to go or needn't go to, and shouldn't, oughtn't to. So the first part that use modal verbs to talk about necessity. Let's take a look. Necessity. We use must, have to, need to, plus a bad infinitive to talk about necessities, something you have to do. For example, things that are necessary, and we use must, have to, need to, should, ought to, plus a bad infinitive to talk about obligations. Necessity, must, have to, and need to, and less strong obligation, should, ought to. Using must to talk about absolute necessity and very strong obligation. We use it to talk about in present and the future, but not in past tense. Example, all children must go to school. Professional tennis players must be very fit. Then how about have to? The modal verb have to. What situations should we use this modal verb? Let's take a look. Have to has almost the same meaning as must, but it can be used in any tenses. I had to walk to school when I was a child. You have to leave before 10 o'clock tonight. So both using past tense or future tense could also work with the modal verb have to. Then how about should and ought to? What these two modal verbs function as? Let's take a look. Should and ought to are used to talk about things we feel obliged to do, but may not actually do. I should or I ought to go to the gym, but I am too tired. Then how about to ask questions with modal verbs? We simply place the modal verb before the subject. Must we go to school today? Should I go to the gym? And there are some hints. The word need to, modal verb need to have a very similar meaning to must and have to, but it's usually slightly less strong. And also, in spoken English, it is very common to say have got to, but only in the present tense. I've got to send out some emails tonight. Then the next part we must go through is prohibitions. Which modal verbs used for talking about prohibitions? Let's take a look. We use negative forms of must not and cannot to talk about prohibitions. You mustn't cross the street here. We cannot wear jeans to school. However, the negative forms do not have to and need not have a very different meanings from must not. You mustn't go in. It says no entry. It means you are not allowed to go in. You don't have to go in, but you can if you want to. It is not necessary for you to go in. You needn't go in. There's nothing in there. There is no reason to go. However, the negative forms should not and ought not to simply have the opposite meaning of the positive forms. I shouldn't stay here. I oughtn't to stay here. I really should go home. When we answer questions with have to, we put do at the beginning of the question. Do you have to take the test? Did you have to take a test? Wow, very nice. That's all for this part. The next sections will be calling. Wow, that's very nice. Wow, very nice. That's all for today. Like this video and subscribe our channel. See you next time. Goodbye.